for all the panelists. Would there be something of a possibility, as was done in the case that Nicaragua filed against Germany? Is that sort of a venue to explore? Oh, yeah. So, to exert pressure against Israel, of course, there's the Nicaraguan case, where they're suing Germany. I'm just wondering about that.
If I may say something about that, I'm very excited about what Nicaragua is doing. It's a great thing. I'm not sure. Of course, it's an ICJ case, so this is something between states. It is in a way similar to that of South. I think it's also connected to the case of South Africa, because if the ICJ will eventually decide or rule that there is a plausible genocide or crimes against humanity of any kind, then there is also cause to indict Germany for aiding and abetting, maybe. So there is a legal ground for this, but I believe its strength is on the symbolic ground. It's very important. It's very important, especially in the case of Germany, who've been guilty of genocide not so long ago, because we're talking 1945, that the World War II ended, and who are again, in oblivion of their own history, and they believe that, the irony of the matter is, and the cynicism of the matter is, that they are actually even weaponizing their own responsibility to that genocide in order to justify another. So the fact that Nicaragua had the initiative to do this is very important, and that's why Western media in general is not talking about it. They're trying to, hide it. So we have to talk about it. We have to make that very clear.
Yeah, and I guess that would also sort of tie into this whole thing that um Professor Link was talking to us about international law and international politics. And I'm just curious if there was anything you would like to add there.
If I could add something, then I want to also remind us all there's another case that's in front of the International Court of Justice that was brought in February, argued in February, and this stems from a request by the UN General Assembly for an advisory opinion that was adopted in December 2022 and reached the court 6 weeks ago, asking whether or not the ongoing 57-year-old occupation is still lawful or not. And the arguments the points raised by the UN General Assembly asking for this opinion was, whether or not the fact that racial discrimination was being systematically applied by Israel through its occupation, whether Israel's denial of Palestinian self-determination was a relevant factor, and whether or not Israel's annexation of Palestinian land, both de jure and de facto, were factors, and then asking for what are the legal consequences for Israel, the occupying power, and for the United Nations, and for all countries with respect to this. Because ultimately, what we're talking about is, and in the arms sales, what we want is an end to the occupation and define the formula for a just and durable peace in Israel-Palestine that is consistent with international law, with equality, with human rights, and with the rule of law. And I hope when the International Court of Justice delivers its ruling sometime probably in the summertime, that it will give us additional aid, both as those of us who are lawyers and those of us who are human rights advocates, to be able to continually put the pressure that next time we talk about occupation, hopefully we can put the word illegal in front of it, thanks to what the International Court of Justice hopefully will be saying on this.